Hey guys, how's it going? Octopus here and welcome back to Union Cross. We're going to be talking about the two new medals that came out a little bit ago in JP, which is Horseman, Ira, and Snake Mama, Invi, which is the new Foreteller medals. They're just like Ava, just that they have their own little things here and there. One does 3 turns, one has more guilt bonus, Ava's more of a defense medal. I'm going to talk about the differences, which basically I just summarized, but what I think is the best one out of the 3 so far. We got 2 more Foretellers coming, so we're going to see how this goes. For now, let's talk about which one I prefer. If currently you're deciding which 3 you want to pull, I honestly still think Ava's going to be the long term, where I would say Ira might last long as well, but Invi's got a unique 3-turn going on. If you guys don't know already, the gist of these medals is basically they do a 34.15 AoE damage, which is the second highest AoE damage in the game. The first highest is these 2 high score challenge medals here, but their condition is that they remove all your gauges, so whatever gauges you have left drops down to 0, and they inflict more damage the more gauges you use. So you have to do something in order for these medals to work out, and then because they're such a high multiplier, you lose all of your gauges, so your friend medal doesn't do anything, and if you come back to the beginning you don't have an SP restore, you lose out. Where the Foretellers here, they're just beneficial all the way. Their only thing downfall, that might be a downfall down the line, is that they're an override ability. If you guys don't know what override is that no matter what buffs or debuffs you and the opponent have, they get erased, and whatever this medal or a medal like this that has override applies, that's what happens no matter the situation. So let's say you just finished raising all your defenses up by, let's say, 3. If this medal says, hey, I overwrite by 1 defense up, you only have 1 defense up. So that's the downfall, is that it overwrites whatever's happening, but only overwrites what it applies. So you see how it says it does upright times 7 strength. If you have already on you, your character, reverse strength by whatever amount, it won't erase that. It only erases what it applies. That's it. So you don't have to worry about that, only whatever conflicts with it. So, with that being out of the way, second strongest AoE medals in the game, which is absolutely amazing. They are tier 8, so that's going to be hard to get as a 7-star, but just, actually no wait, they only come as a 7-star, I believe. So, they are Mercy and JP because they're anniversary. They're Mercy 10. In Global, if we do get them, I don't expect them to be a Mercy. I expect them to be just like Riku, but let's talk about the medals and how good they are. So starting off with Ira, basically the biggest things you guys will see is that he has 120% guilt increase to all medals, including himself, after him. That's the biggest we have. The second biggest is 100%, which is honestly applied to everything right now that's coming out new. So when we see the 120%, it's like, wow, that's a big percentage. 20 is huge. The thing is that every medal after a medal that comes out with the newest percentage guilt also comes with the newest one as well, or better. So I honestly expect this number to either stay at 120 or keep increasing. Either way, he's not going to be unique to the 120%, and if they do come with a new buffer medal, then most likely a new buffer medal is going to have the 120 or maybe something better. But 120%, we've got to point that out. That's what he has over the other Foreteller medals currently, not the 2 that we don't know that's out yet. So what else does he have? He also has 7 attribute defense down, where Ava here only has magic, and Invi over here only has magic. So that's another thing about Ira that is better than both of them. He does apply for all attributes and that 120% guilt. Besides that, Ira, what he does compared to the other ones is that he makes a next medal a power medal because he is power. Same thing with the future Foretellers. If they're speed, they're going to make the future medals speed, the next medal in the Keyblade slot. So besides that, he isn't really much compared to Ava. I still prefer the defense up with an attacking medal and having the opponent's 3 attribute attack down, and that's what Ava's got over Ira over here, because he only does 3 speed down. So what does Invi do? Invi, the only difference from Invi between Ira and Ava is that Invi is 3 turns. So for 3 turns, we're looking at PvP. All these buffs and debuffs are going to be applied, including the 100% that will carry over for 3 turns as well. And she does do 34.15, which is not amazing. If we look at like Bob and Jack, Sora and Simba, they're in the 53 multiplier. So the medal's not incredibly strong. It is stronger than your Prime Axel. It's stronger than your Tier 4 Prime medals, basically. But it's not as strong as tier 7s and tier 8s and some tier 6s. Even some tier 5s I would say is pretty close to that multiplier. So it's not like she's going to be crazy in PvP, but being a medal that you can probably stick defense boost 6 on, have it for 3 turns, and do some decent damage, I think it's a pretty good choice. But what ends up happening is that anything along the way, like Kairi Kai, Shion Kai's, other medals that have override abilities, will start chipping away at these buffs and debuffs. Not as bad because you'd have to have medals that specifically lower attack. If they don't have that, your times 7 strength will carry over every single turn until the opponent brings that down. So your first medals in a Keyblade setup will have that general strength, and if they take care of themselves for everything else, you don't really need a buffing medal on turn 2 or turn 3, or if you're defending, so on and so on. So this can turn out really good. Invi could be the PvP highlight, but again, everyone's gonna have some sort of way to knock you down. It just brings it out a little bit better. So I think Invi is a good choice for PvP, especially defense boost 6. I know a lot of you guys are gonna say, well, if you have her, why not just give her an attack boost for that 34? 34 is not that crazy of a multiplier. AoE wise, it's an insane multiplier, but in all honesty, if I want to continue to be doing good in PvP, that would be my choice for defense boost 6. 120% on the Ira, I don't think it's going to last long, and besides that, I'd rather have Ava in all honesty, because most medals do take care of their attribute defense anyways. So Ava is still my choice here. I don't know why I keep clicking on the high score challenge medals up there. Still my choice with that 3 attack down for attributes and the 7 attribute defense up. As long as the buff cap doesn't go raised for that, that is pretty much maxed out for now and is incredibly good as an attacking medal. If you guys haven't figured it out already, these basically replace Kairi Kai and Shion Kai in most situations. The only downfall is, especially if you put these in the beginning, they have to have the higher HP, the more damage they do. So if their HP drops off in second turn, which they will because the opponent's going to hit you, they won't have their big multiplier. 25 multiplier is still pretty good for AoE, but if they stay at full health, 34. So issue number 1 is that they don't heal. They do raise your gauges by 2 and enemy counter by 2, so you don't have to worry about counters. So they do a good job for that, but they don't restore health. So any other medal on your Keyblade setup that says, hey, I do more damage the higher my HP, by turn 2, if you have to go multiple turns, you're not going to have a healer, and you're going to have to figure that out if you don't. So they're basically another version of stained glass medals. Stained glass medals have all those buffs and all that, but they don't have a way to heal. But on top of it, stained glasses are very downgraded because they also don't have counter pluses, gauge restore, or anything like that. These are very close to the Kairi Kai and Shion Kai. You get a lot of damage with a lot of power. You just lose the ability to restore gauges, which can hurt. And even if you do put a Kairi Kai or Shion Kai before it, it's going to replace most of that anyways, or just not do anything. So it's basically just an attacking medal. Either way, you can't go wrong. If you did have a Keyblade full of these, they won't really hurt each other. Again, whatever they apply and the other medal applies, if they don't counteract each other, they'll just stack. Not stack like 7 plus 7. I mean, like this one raises 7 magic up, where Ira does 7 power. Because Ira and Ava do different attributes, you'll keep both the power and both the magic. It doesn't overwrite what it doesn't apply, if that makes sense. So you can have a full Keyblade of these medals as long as you have in the order they don't screw each other over. So situations where they shine is like here, Ava will make this medal into a power medal, where over here, Ira will make the next medal into a power. Or did I say magic? I meant magic for Ava. So you could just get away with using these guys somewhere here, and then sure, here on a reverse one. That's not really smart. But the whole thing is that they'll carry over and do their own thing. But because it doesn't affect power, she still gets the power, and then she affects the magic, and the magic goes over. So it will carry over, having the Foretellers all together. In the end, if they do come out as a Mercy Pull 5, will I be going for them? I want to. In all honesty, I really do, but I feel like Foretellers, just like last year, they were good, but they were also didn't feel broken enough to go for. They're going to help, they're going to carry on for quite a while, but I feel like something better is around the corner. I do feel like they have their places, especially for PvP, so on and so on, and making other medals into the same attribute after you is pretty good, especially if you don't have a buffer for power and you have more magic. Then stuff like Ava and Invi here will help you out. Regardless of that, I don't know if my jewels will go towards this. I prefer single target and random medals, and don't really care about AoE medals, because AoE medals come and go here and there, especially prime medals now have AoE attached with their single target damage. So We'll see what happens and what has to come. They haven't hit global yet. If you're playing JP version, I like more defense with my attacking medals. And if you're playing PvP, I think this has a really good spot. I know I'm not giving Ira enough credit here, but in all honesty, we have a lot of medals that already apply these buffs and debuffs anyways, so it's not really necessary, especially when you have Karikai and Shionkai. The only benefit you're getting out of this is that 120% guilt. Besides that, you're getting more strength compared to the Karikai and Shionkai, which, if in all honesty, we need these medals compared to Karikai and Shionkai, they're going to have to rebalance the game anyways, so they're not going to be as important. Again, it all depends what you have and what you don't have, but I think I might skip out on these when it comes to global. We'll talk about it more when it comes and just a little bit more research, but this is what they do. This is my thoughts on them. Let me know what you guys think. Are you guys going to go for them? Did you go for them in JP? Or are you waiting for some kind of new buffer or buff cap? Overwrite's not going to be good if a new buff cap comes out. It's going to be good as long as it's your first medal, just the next medals can't have overwrite either because it just doesn't multiply together. Let me know what you guys think down below about these medals, and if you did enjoy the video, don't forget to hit the like button, and as always, thank you so much for watching, keep on smiling, and I'll see you in the next one.